Rangers exited the Europa League on Thursday after a disappointing 2-0 loss to Athletic Bilbao in the Basque region. Although Rangers were massive underdogs going into the game, the loss still hurt as we watched Rangers eliminated from Europe and their only chance of silverware for the 2024-25 season. However, in today's video, we have some massive Rangers Champions League news ahead of next season. We will look into this in today's video, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Rangers' game against St Mirren this weekend will not be shown on TV. The Ibrox side travel to Paisley on Saturday in the first of their Scottish Premiership post-split fixtures. The match, however, won't be live on TV for supporters to watch due to the UK's 3 PM TV blackout. The rule to stop games being televised on Saturday afternoons was introduced in the 1960s and remains in effect today. Rangers kick off against the Saints at 3 PM. The match has not been selected for coverage by Premier Sports or Sky Sports and will therefore not be broadcast. It is the first of interim head coach Barry Ferguson's final 5 games in charge. The 47-year-old was appointed caretaker boss following Philippe Clement's dismissal at the end of February. Ferguson has since spearheaded comeback wins over the likes of Kilmarnock and Dundee, as well as guiding Rangers into the Europa League quarter-finals and beating Celtic 3-2 at Parkhead. It remains to be seen whether the club legend will be kept on at Ibrox come the summer, with 49ers Enterprises and Andrew Kavanagh set to secure a 51% controlling interest in Rangers. 49ers Enterprises currently control Leeds United, who were yesterday promoted to the Premier League. United now know they will play their football in England's top flight next season after Burnley beat Sheffield United 2-1, although that situation has no impact whatsoever on the Rangers takeover deal. Now, in some huge Rangers Champions League news, Rangers' hopes of qualifying for next season's UEFA Champions League could be boosted by Athletic Bilbao. The La Liga side knocked Barry Ferguson's men out of this season's Europa League just last week with a 2-0 victory in the Basque country. However, while their own team may no longer be involved, Rangers fans should take a vested interest in Athletic Club's progress in the competition. That's because if the Spanish outfit goes on to win the tournament, with the final taking place in Bilbao on Wednesday, May 21st, then Rangers will receive a much welcome bump up in Champions League qualifying this summer. At the moment, the Ibrox side will enter the qualifiers via the league path. They will enter in the second round, where they could play the likes of Servette, Brann or Austria Vienna. Here's where the big Bilbao bonus could come in though. If the team that wins the Europa League also qualifies for next season's Champions League directly through their domestic league placing, then due to Rangers' coefficient ranking, they would be bumped up to the Champions path of UCL qualification. This would see them enter a round later and would also act as a cast-iron guarantee of group stage football next season, which, as things stand, is not a given in the league pathway. Should Rangers fail in the Champions League, they would drop into the Europa League playoff and then would either progress to the league phase of that competition or drop further into the Conference League if defeated at that stage. Athletic Bilbao are the only team left in the Europa League that could offer such a benefit to Rangers. They sit 4th in La Liga and are 5 points clear of 5th place Villarreal, while they are 9 points ahead of Real Betis in 6th. Manchester United and Spurs both shockingly look likely to finish just above the relegation zone in the Premier League, while Bodo Glimt are already confirmed as being in the Champions League playoff round. In other news, the fallout from Rangers' Europa League elimination at the hands of the Athletic Club continues to rage on, and at the centre of the storm is a ripped shirt, a contentious refereeing decision, and a penalty that never was. On Thursday, 17th April, Rangers crashed out of the competition following a 2-0 defeat in Bilbao. But while the scoreline was definitive, the officiating was anything but. Referee Irfan Pelishto's decision to wave away penalty claims after Cyril Dessers' shirt was visibly torn in the box has ignited fierce debate and divided opinions across the footballing world. Former Rangers striker Chris Boyd was apoplectic, branding the non-call as baffling. But not everyone was ready to point the finger at the referee. Marvin Bartley, a regular voice on Clyde One Super Scoreboard, offered a different perspective, one that has only added fuel to the fire. Calling into the live show, Bartley shared an unusual revelation. He'd spoken to a kit man who claimed there were known issues with the kits used by Rangers, Wolves and the Republic of Ireland. According to this unnamed source, the fabric of the shirts becomes far more vulnerable when damp with sweat, making them prone to tearing even under moderate pressure. That raised the possibility that Dessis's shredded jersey was not, in itself, incontrovertible proof of a foul. Pressed on whether he agreed with the referee's decision, Bartley said he could see why it was not given. His comments didn't end there. Taking to X, he engaged in a spirited but respectful exchange with fans who weren't buying his explanation. One supporter scoffed at the idea of defective shirts, demanding evidence. Bartley shot back with a tongue-in-cheek response, quipping that maybe the defender had incredible Hulk strength, pairing the comment with an image of Try Hume hilariously pinching Anthony Gordon's jersey into tatters with a single hand. Another fan questioned the frequency of such incidents. Bartley admitted it wasn't common, but added that over time, the issue with the shirts would be addressed. Still, the fundamental truth remains, the shirt ripped. And if there was a pull strong enough to cause that damage, a penalty would have been the logical outcome, defective kit or not. For Rangers, the consequences of that moment are enormous. Barry Ferguson's side had shown grit and resilience in the first leg, even managing to grind out a draw at Ibrox despite an early red card for Robin Proper. With the tie hanging in the balance, a spot kick in Bilbao could have flipped the narrative entirely. Instead, that moment passed unpunished. And so did Rangers' Europa League dreams. Now, with Celtic cruising toward the league title, Rangers face the prospect of a subdued end to a campaign that once promised so much. A single refereeing decision, influenced perhaps by faulty fabric or human judgment, may have closed the door on what could have been a famous European run, potentially culminating in a clash with Manchester United in the semi-finals. But for now, all that remains is the lingering sense of what might have been, and a torn shirt that refuses to be forgotten. Finally, former Rangers winger Ryan Kent made his debut for Seattle Sounders over the weekend. The Englishman joined the MLS outfit at the end of March after 5 months without a club. Kent was released by Turkish giants Fenerbahce, managed by Jose Mourinho, near the end of 2024, just 16 months after signing a 4-year deal. He penned a short-term contract with Seattle and made his bow over the weekend, coming on for the closing stages of his team's 3-0 win over Nashville. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.